good morning, and welcome to my Monday messages. For those of you who may not know me, I'm Rebecca. I'm a homeopath, I'm a holistic life coach and natural health advocate. And my Monday messages are just an opportunity for me to share anything that I think you might find useful in cultivating intimacy with, first and foremost, yourself, and then after that with others, and especially with the natural world of which we are very definitely a part. And some of what I do is encouraging and supporting all of us to reconnect with that natural world and really recognize what a vital part it plays in our health, actually, our physical health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health. And I wanted today to talk about what's going on in the natural world. And if you're watching live, you're very, very welcome. Please do say hello and let me know that you can hear me and everything. That's always good to know. And if you're watching on the replay, it's never too late to add your comments or questions or experiences, and just pop them in the thread below and I will get back to you. Okay, so happy Bealtaine in the Celtic calendar. Yesterday was the 1st of May, and this is the time where, actually almost overnight, the natural world just springs into life. It's literally bursting with ripeness and blossom and blooming, and the birds are looking for mates or nesting. They're singing their little socks off. And it's a feast for our senses if we can only take the time to immerse ourselves in it. And it can give so much pleasure. And it's an opportunity, I think, if we take that invitation, to reconnect with all our senses. And the way to do that, I think, is to maybe take inspiration from some of the painters and artists over the years who have chosen to, quite deliberately, to focus on one subject in nature, or a building even, and to paint or photograph or draw that same subject repeatedly at different times of the day, different seasons, in different light, obviously, with different weather conditions, and really indulge their senses in then reproducing what changes, and how some things are the same and other things are completely different. And I'm thinking of things like the painter Monet, who painted his garden at Giverny, the beautiful water lily pond being the most famous scene. But he also painted Rouen Cathedral over and over again in different lights and using different paint techniques. Other artists too. There was a wonderful artist called Ronnie Horn, who's a contemporary artist actually, who chose to photograph and video the Thames, very close up shots of the River Thames in London. And you'd think, oh my God, how many photographs can I see of the Thames? But I remember going to an exhibition of hers years ago, and it was mesmerising to see how different the water looked in different lights at different times of day, different seasons. And also what she managed to capture so beautifully was the difference that our senses, the different way that our senses take in information, and give out information, actually, when we are in, different seasons, different moods, different spiritual states, different emotional states, and different physical states, because we interact. It's a constant symbiotic relationship. And what I wanted to invite you to do is to consciously choose a lovely, peaceful spot, some view, and it could be through a window, but even better if you're actually out in it. It could be your garden. It could be a view from your window. It could be, a particular tree or even a plant. And just consciously put some time aside each day or each week, whatever works for you, to spend time engaging all your senses and noticing everything you can about that particular spot. Just using your eyes. So, I would open the back door every morning and look outside at the same view out of my back door. And I would be noticing this morning, for example, the birds flitting around, blackbirds hopping on the ground as they look for their breakfast, and looking at all the plants bursting with life, the flowers coming out, the primroses, the different grasses, even the dandelions, the buttercups, the blossom, the apple blossom, the pear blossom, all of that richness and ripening, a feast for the eyes for sure, but also smelling the wet grass, the dew on the grass, and then touching. At this time of year, we are meant to be washing our face with the dew, the morning dew, and feeling that dew and the ground underneath on my bare feet, really connecting with the earth as it warms up. So my sense of touch as well. And then listening. You can't help but hear the birds at the moment. They're so almost raucous. They're just beautiful to listen to. But other sounds too in your neighbourhood, maybe you can hear the soft mooing of cows or the baaing of sheep, a lawnmower going, whatever it is, just really drinking it all in and noticing the light, feeling the sunlight on our skin, or the soft rain as it falls. So really engaging all those senses, and also just thinking about, what am I tasting? And it may not be to do with what you're witnessing with your other senses. Maybe it's that first cup of tea in the morning, or maybe it's just your own taste. But really inviting all your senses in and noticing how it informs everything that you're experiencing. You could spend 5 minutes doing that. It doesn't have to be any more. It's wonderful to spend more time. But just really helping to develop an intimate relationship with one small part of your external world, but using all your senses will eventually, you'll see how they just merge into one, and that we cannot divorce ourselves from the natural world. It informs us and we inform it. And we're meant to have that wonderful symbiotic relationship. So I think that it can bring great peace, it can bring calm, it can bring a stillness, and it can bring a reminder that we have all these senses, and that these senses are what enable us to take in information, to drink it in. And maybe we are dumbing those down in an effort to perhaps get through our busy lives. So whenever we can just plug in again to ourselves and to nature. That's got to be a good thing. And at the moment, it's just so abundant, life and creativity and reproduction. You almost can't ignore it, I think. So it's a wonderful opportunity to really get in touch with all the richness of it. So that was my message today, was to find your own special place like those artists, and just notice how returning to that same spot and really witnessing what you experience in different lights and in different seasons, it will bring you such richness. We don't need to necessarily be going all over the world to experience that, although that is nice, I must admit. But we can get so much from actually just staying still in one spot and developing a really intimate relationship with that little place and with ourselves. And that ultimately will bring an improvement, a greater level of awareness of how you're feeling and how you can actually regulate yourself without anything else, just by being still and by engaging those senses. So that was it, really. I think, let me just check and see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Not really, no. It was just to help all of us to get some sense of sovereignty over our own health, and to know that we can do very simple practices and they will make a difference to how we feel on all levels, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And we don't necessarily need to be rushing off to take pills or anything like that. All we need to do is things like this, is to allow ourselves to cultivate those intimate relationships with the natural world and with ourselves. So that's it. I'm wishing you a really happy, if you're here in Ireland, it's a bank holiday Monday, I'm aware of that, so I hope you're having a wonderful time. And yeah, do let me know how you get on with finding a special place, a place that you feel that you could consciously develop an intimate relationship with. Maybe you already do that. Do share your experiences below. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, take care. And thank you so much for joining me, for watching. Bye.